This is a video regarding the possible connection between the book of Boba Fett and the Kenobi show, involving Grogu as well. It was a video that was going to be made pre the season finale of Boba Fett, but I thought it'd be best to just hold off on that for a short while we see what the season finale holds, see if that affected this theory in any way, shape or form. So let's get to it. Please like or dislike the video. He might be a child, but Grogu is still 50 years old. He was born in the same year as Anakin Skywalker in 41 BBY, long before the Clone Wars even started. And as the Book of Boba Fett Chapter 6 revealed, the Force sensitive was actually at the Jedi Temple during Order 66, nearly 3 decades before the events of The Mandalorian. A repressed memory shows Jedi Knights dying trying to protect the Padawan, but we still don't know who ultimately saved him and protected him for many years. There are two obvious candidates, and ultimately answer to who rescued Grogu could come via another Disney Plus Star Wars show, Kenobi. That could mean Obi-Wan won't be the only legendary Jedi, nor Grogu the only small green one. We'll meet again soon. Grogu's life before Din Djarin found him must have been very painful, not just because remnants of the Empire used his blood for experiments, also because Grogu buried memories of who he was and where he came from. He only managed to remember a brief horrible moment from his past thanks to Luke Skywalker helping him access repressed memory. That flashback was brief, but it revealed some pretty important facts about Grogu. It began with Luke telling his Padawan about another of Grogu's kind, Yoda, including the unique way the Jedi Master spoke. Luke asked if Grogu ever heard others of his species speak the same way back home, but the question made the little guy visibly upset. He didn't remember home, but he would let Luke help him. We know nothing of Yoda's home world. George Lucas has never wanted to reveal anything about it either, or Yoda's race, but for a fleeting moment it seemed as though the Book of Boba Fett was actually going to answer one of Star Wars' biggest questions ever. Instead, when Luke placed his hand on the child's head, the Jedi's temple was the home of Grogu remembered. Like all Padawans during the Galactic Republic, Grogu must have come to the temple as an infant. He has no memories of his family or even his home planet. He has always been a Jedi in training. What Grogu specifically remembers of his home was the tragic final day there. The fateful day clone troopers attacked the Jedi temple and executed the Knights as part of Palpatine's Order 66. 3 unknown Jedi bravely gave their lives defending Grogu, but whatever happened next when those clone troopers approached the child remains a mystery. However, we do have a significant information about Grogu's life beyond what we learned from that memory, and together they begin to paint a picture of what happened to him after Order 66. At some point, Imperial forces had Grogu, and they extracted his blood for the Snoke Palpatine Resurrection Project. Either the Empire captured Grogu that day, or they found him later on. Eventually, though, they lost him, necessitating the hiring of Din Djarin to relocate him. We now also know that despite being so young and vulnerable during his time at the Jedi Temple, he was unable to defend himself. He received meaningful Jedi instruction at some point. Ahsoka Tano complimented Luke for training Grogu well, but Luke said, "It's more like he's remembering than I'm actually teaching him anything." That line might be more revealing than the flashback itself. Luke trained Grogu using the same method Yoda used with Luke on Dagobah. If Grogu is remembering that very same training, then Yoda himself may have trained Grogu at one point. And if Grogu was too young during the time at the Jedi Temple to receive meaningful instruction, those lessons might very well come after it, possibly on Dagobah, same as Luke, or even nearby where Luke grew up on Tatooine. If someone rescues Grogu from the Jedi Temple in the immediate aftermath of Order 66, Yoda is one of the 2 most obvious candidates to have done so. Obi-Wan Kenobi is the other. The other both went there that day and sent out a message warning fellow Jedi to stay away, and no other Jedi joined them on their missions to face Darth Sidious and Vader. Would an unknown Jedi survivor have had the courage to rescue Grogu but abandon his fellow knights? It's not impossible, but it does seem improbable. It's more likely that at some point Yoda and Obi-Wan found time to rescue and hid him. If they had, it would make sense why we didn't actually see them do it. Yoda's species can live to 900 years. Grogu was, and is, the best bet to ensure a future for the Jedi. Keeping his survival a complete secret, even from the trusted allies like Bail Organa, was the only way to guarantee the Empire never learned of Grogu's existence. At some point, of course, they did. However, even if the Empire did capture Grogu during Order 66, someone helped them escape eventually. Grogu was incapable of doing that on his own. When Moff Gideon kidnapped him, he almost certainly wouldn't have been able to be capable of breaking free at a younger age. But even in that case, Obi-Wan Kenobi and Yoda are still the 2 most likely candidates to have saved Grogu and then hidden him away, same as they did with Luke and Leia. These clues, while tantalizing and revealing, paint an incomplete picture about Grogu's past, but they all point towards the 2 Jedi who we know walked out of the Jedi Temple on that day. These are the 2 knights who spent almost 2 decades in hiding and protecting other powerful would-be Padawans. If they could successfully hide the children of Anakin Skywalker, why couldn't they do the same for the 3rd? Of course, that possibility raises even more questions. How and where did they keep Grogu hidden? Why did they want him to get his training? When and how did they ultimately lose? These are important questions Star Wars will ultimately need to answer.